Hey, good morning, my friends. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. I feel real weathery today. There's a lot to talk about, so I'm billing this as a weather update that you're not going to get anywhere else. I'm sorry if I'm a little weather geeky. That's the way it's going to be. Hey, we're 200 people strong. If you could, hit the share button. I would appreciate it very much, and maybe put a little blurb in there that this is the way Mark Torregrossa and MLive cover the weather. Let's get on into it. And I'm going to have a post up about this in a little bit. Very whipsaw weather. Strong warm-ups followed by strong cold snaps. Only one day on the cold snaps for the first 2 or 3, and then the cold settles in. And so that's what we're going to be talking about through this whole thing. So today, southern lower Michigan, eastern lower Michigan, you're looking very good. Dry conditions. There's the storm system that's going to bring us a strong cold front overnight tonight and sharply colder air tomorrow into Thursday, but then it'll already scour out quickly and we'll be on a strong warming trend as we head toward Friday into early on Saturday. This is the radar forecast to show you when you get some rain going. Are you like me and still have things to do outside? Well, here we go. Noon, we're dry across lower Michigan. By the way, traveling to the western part of the UP, winter storm warnings in effect. 3, 4, 5 o'clock. So right in there in the second half of the afternoon, the southwest corner, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Grand Rapids, Muskegon, you start to get into some rain showers. And then 6, 7, 8, 6, let's call it 5 in Lansing, 5 p.m. showers, 6 to 7 on the east side, Saginaw Bay City, the Thumb, Flint, the Detroit area, Ann Arbor. And then this evening, off and on showers, rain showers, not snow showers. Yeah, I got to say hi to some folks. Good morning, Sherry Hederick from Gladwin and Rosemary Spencer. Thank you very much. Lori Hogue, good morning, and Susan Pretzer, Saginaw Township. All right. So this is tonight. This is the middle of the night, midnight. That's the cold front coming through that line of showers. I don't know if there would be a thunder shower. It's possible. By the way, if you're traveling south today and tomorrow, a severe weather outbreak possible in the deep south. Nighttime tornadoes, so be careful there. This is 2 in the morning, 3, 4 in the morning. So that means the cold front is through by 4 in the morning tomorrow, and then the snow picks up in the northwest part of the state, and then the snow showers start Wednesday morning. Ellen's checking in from Arizona. No, I'm sorry, not Arizona. I don't have my glasses on. Ann Arbor. So this is Wednesday afternoon, and you're seeing snow showers. Southern half of the state, I would call them not meaningful snow showers. And then we go to Wednesday evening, and they start to taper off. So how meaningful on the snow showers? Well, here's the total snowfall forecast. And again, if you could do me a favor and everybody else, I think I'm giving you a weather update that you don't have anywhere else. If you're a snowplower, if you're a contractor, if you're a traveler, whatnot, hit the share button to the friend that you know that needs this, or is just a weather nut like the rest of us. I still think we need to come up with some clothing, So this is Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, and you're looking at a streak of 1 to 3 inches, maybe through the Kalamazoo, Lansing area. Otherwise, the east side of the state, probably an inch or less, probably, maybe a spot 2 inches. And then northwest lower, Cadillac to near Traverse City up to Gaylord Grayling, probably we should call it 2 to 4 inches. And the west side of the UP, 6 to 10 inches of snowfall. Now, here we go with kind of a really complex weather situation. Several strong cold fronts, one tonight, one Saturday afternoon, and then a final one on Tuesday, yeah, I mentioned final, meaning after that, it looks like we get into an extended time period, about a week of winter-like temperatures. I'm not convinced that that means we're going fully into winter because remember, in the La Nina winter that we have right now, we're supposed to have rapidly fluctuating weather, and it still looks like it could be that case. Joe Nawat asking above snowfall coming for December. It would have to come in the last 2 weeks of it, which it certainly could do, but I'll show you what's going on here now. So let me back up for those of you that need to get your bearings straight. You can see Florida, you can see Louisiana, you work your way northward, you can kind of pick out Michigan. Okay, so here's our warmth coming today, then here's our strong cold front and wind, 45-mile-an-hour gusts coming tomorrow. Hey, good morning, Tim Lee from Oscoda. Please hit the share button. I would appreciate it very much. So then that clears out on Thursday. Thursday's a cold day, but already starting to get back into the warmer air by Thursday night. Look at Friday. Cold air is gone. We're already ahead of the next storm system. This is Saturday morning, 7 a.m. This is 1 p.m. So this is going to be a fast-moving cold front on Saturday from Lake Michigan at 7 a.m. to east of Detroit at 1 p.m. A quick hitting cold with again another 45-mile-an-hour wind gust pattern. Lets up quickly by Sunday morning, and we try to go into somewhat milder air by Monday as the next storm system forms. But now what happens at this time of the year is the cold air mass is building to the north, and it's slowly inching south and east. And that's why Michigan typically gets into winter the last week of December or the first week of January, because just climatologically, that's when the cold starts to take over. Some years it's earlier, some years it's a little bit later, but it looks like it's going to be kind of on schedule. And the warmth down to the south still inches our way in November and then loses its strength a lot in December. So that's what you're looking at here is we're out at next Monday and we try to warm up, but then a strong storm again forms. Let's see. Tom Ramsey. Hey, Mark, have some kids coming in from Chicago on Wednesday to Freeport. You said snow? Yes, it would be lake effect, so they should be okay until they get toward Freeport, and it would be lake effect that they've handled before, a couple of inches. But windy, so, nothing to sneeze at, I guess. So this is next Tuesday, strong storm, but notice the track is across the center of the state. I'll show that to you here in just a moment. If you could hit the share button, have new people join us. Then the cold air oozes in December 6th, 7th, and then it seems to want to take hold for a while. At the same time, we may be calming down on the storm systems. Bear in mind that these storms usually come in a series of about 3 or 4, maybe 5. And that's what happens. The Pacific flares up, sends us 4 storms in a row, and then it quiets down for a week or 2, and then it flares back up. So this would say that our last storm comes in middle of next week, and then not to say we won't have storms after that, but they would be much weaker, small storms, and it would take a couple of weeks before the Pacific flares back up again. And that would put us toward Christmas week or the first week of January, when we're in the cold air probably, and the more significant storm systems flare back up, possibly. So here is a different look at this. Here's your cold front with rain showers to snow showers tomorrow. Dry Thursday, southwest wind Friday. Here's your Saturday cold front. Not doing a whole lot. Showers ahead of it and then cold behind it. And then here's that storm that's more interesting next week, in that the low pressure center tracks across central Michigan. That gets the UP. Hey, Teresa Zadel. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Verna Carr, can I project into the week of December 14th? Uh, Not on daily stuff, but that looks like it will be on the wintry side and on the quieter side storm wise. So this storm then takes a farther south track, central lower. That puts a snowstorm UP next week into far northern lower, and then it gets the lake effect going, and then we start to quiet down a little bit. Temperatures 50s today, then back to 30s and 20s tomorrow with falling temperatures. Thursday is chilly with highs in the low to mid 30s. Friday, back to 50 degrees. Saturday, mid to upper 50s in the southeast, 40s in the north. That's a morning temperature, okay? And then the falling temperatures. So this is why I'm saying this is a weather whipsaw, a true weather whipsaw. Sunday, colder in the mid 30s. Monday, back into the 40s. Tuesday, with that storm center possibly in central Michigan, pumps warm air into the south in the 60s, and it keeps the snowstorm air up across the UP. And then, of course, as that moves to the east, that's when I'm talking about the cold air taking a more solid hold, at least for a week. This is Thursday, December 8th, and you can see the cold off to the west. Climate Prediction Center kind of talks about what I'm telling you about, in that we go through a stormy up and down pattern till next Tuesday. Then the cold air slides in and the storm track kind of dies off. You can see that on their forecasts here. Let's see what I can fit in the screen for you. Just give me a second. Okay, we got both of them in there now. We're not getting out to Christmas yet on this, I don't believe, but this is the 6 to 10 day forecast, and the cold air is starting to ooze in next week, December 4th to 8th, and the above normal precipitation is around. Then the 8 to 14 day, the cold air is oozing in, not anything record cold, but they also kind of shift the storm track south and put us into below normal precipitation at that point. Did I disappoint? Probably a lot of you got turned off because you got so much weather there. I'll try to give you a summary now, okay? So warm today, strong cold front tonight. Windy, gusts to 45 miles an hour. If you're a contractor, you got a project, still you want to be buttoning up and it's exposed to the wind, make sure it's secure. 45 mile an hour gust tomorrow. Thursday's a quiet, cold day. Friday, right back into the warmth. Saturday could be in the 50s, southern part of the state. Briefly, strong cold front. And then we warm back up Monday and Tuesday of next week when it looks like the strongest storm of these. And that's typically what happens again. Remember, a parade of 4 storms, usually the third or the fourth is the strongest, and then it quiets down for a week or two. We actually have a fancy name for that. It's called the MJO, Madden-Julian Oscillation, and it's basically a big mass of thunderstorms and a storminess area that moves across the Pacific, sometimes very cyclical over the course of 2 weeks to a couple of months. And it helps us in the extended because we can see that MJO developing clearly out in the Western Pacific. We can time it 2 weeks down the road. It's probably storminess in the middle part of the country. There you go. Hopefully I did not disappoint. Have yourselves a great whatever day today is, Tuesday. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. I know it was long, but what the heck? We don't have to worry about commercials here, right? And I can do the job when we get into snowstorms. I can detail exactly what's going on. So take care, be safe, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.